show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright.
It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through in that drop top. Something by Benz looking cute. That's honest. Her and her friends, big blinks and snatch waist. Yeah, she brought the ain't no way.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Today,
I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I'll pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon up, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise. Make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights.
first opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, our Thanksgiving coverage continues with a good one here between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. This is taken just shy of the 10.
The Lions take over first down at their own 20-yard line.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Jones. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a handoff up the middle. Devlin, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's Dominic Robinson who comes in and makes a play. Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families that go out and play and then come in and sit down to their feast and watch football. I remember reading about it. Remember the Lions jumping out the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. The only loss the Packers had in 1962, and they sacked Bart Starr over 10 times in that game. And I remember Dave Williams from the Bears returning the overtime kickoff for a touchdown to win a game on Thanksgiving Day. I remember so many different things happening, but how much fun is it each and every year to know?
And in for the Lions touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive starts on the ground with Carey. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Charles already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Escaping the pressure right. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, Matt Ariza is sent on to punt. Back deep is DJ Chark. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Got a man. It's Tunyon. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage, so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years are teams seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. The Lions at 500, sitting at 5-5. And they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
1st down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Throwing Jones. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up the second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on second and 10. Again, Fields drops it off for carry. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down. Fields now to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. 28 yards. And the Bears are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree, because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you can get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case, wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they, almost to a man, told us how excited they are to be playing in this traditional Thanksgiving game. But we have to remember, this is a team that lost on Sunday. Now they get a very quick turnaround to play again. How difficult is that to do?
It's difficult under any normal circumstance. When you're coming off of a loss and you have a quick turnaround, the first thing is to put the loss behind you and move forward. But when you plan on Thanksgiving Day, everyone's watching you, it's an added bonus, though, because now you put the loss behind you. Get that taste out of your mouth, because the taste you want is victory, turkey, and pumpkin pie.
Throwing on third down, Fields. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Jones now throwing on first down. Throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. 7-7, our score after one. Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. They run the counter. Devlin. And some space here. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That good for 22 and a first down. Looked like they picked a heck of a time to run the counter.
And we've been saying that in this great game of football probably since we started playing. Anytime you get guys thinking you're going to go one way and you hit back the opposite side, it's a great chance it can turn into the type of play we just saw there, a big gainer.
You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day. But you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that the league added a third game in 2006, and usually it's division rivals, but that's the third one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. On 2nd and 9, Jones, and he will find Ridley on the left side. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. Up the middle they go. Devlin able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Jones will try and run with it. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Jones. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And his kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just a field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Taken from about the 12. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles, is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. people like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Being checked, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now it's Fields. Flush to his right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
He's got a man, complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. He's going to let this thing go deep for Caldwell. And incomplete on the deep ball. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. That's Matt Milano firing in from his linebacker position.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Quality coverage that time to slow down what's been the main source of offense against them thus far. Got to find a way to slow down that ball in the air.
Here's Matt Araiza now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll return it from the 6. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Jones on 1st down. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Dominique Robinson. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Taking it about the 36. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. A final shot before the break. Fields. He sets to fire deep. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Devin Lloyd with a pick. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Jones throw taken in by Ridley here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
That's good for the Lions. First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Now Jones on first and 10. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Throwing again. Jones. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Again, he'll drop to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession here at their own 33. Second half, close game, and we're certainly seeing some exciting plays, but it's really been the defenses. That's now back-to-back drives that have ended with interceptions.
Yeah, the guys on the other side of the ball, as we like to say, the defenders, they've been the difference makers for their teams. And when they're taking their game up to this kind of a level, I want to see what happens with these offenses. Can they match them as this game goes on? Or will the defenders continue to have full control of this one?
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now Fields. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
It's a gain of 17 yards. And the Bears first down.
On first down, Fields. Open man, he finds Kmet. Touchdown, Chicago. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Bears have taken the lead here in this third quarter. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead is now 14-10.
14. Lions 10.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
Lions take over first and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly, but here they've got another opportunity to see. Oh, Jones has just thrown his third interception. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. And now, oh boy, this is a bit of a surprise, to be kind. They accepted the holding penalty, so wipe out the interception, and their defense will stay on the field. Okay. This is Carey. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From the 17, Fields. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
3rd and 2, Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Lions are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Looking to throw. Jones. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he goes out right around the 39. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 2nd and a couple. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Dominique Robinson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drive him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with Carey. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. And the Lions are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st down, Devlin. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. That's into the hands of Ferguson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of. And, in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a 4th quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now a handoff up the middle. Devlin. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Throw right side, caught by Ridley. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They try to throw on 4th and goal from the 2, and the Chicago defense able to come up with a goal line stand. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going. And above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
On 2nd and 11 now. Fields on the completion. This is Carey. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw. Fields. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
On 1st down, it's Fields. He's got a man, complete. the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. They give him a gain of 38. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. Second down, here's an option right. Read option, here's Montgomery. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Garibay on for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10.
Makes the score Bears 21, Lions 10.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try. And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
They had to put it mildly, but look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Flushed out right, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that snap. I think he was asking just a little too much as he extended that play, hoping for one more completion with it.
Play action. It's Fields. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
A shotgun snap, Fields. And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down. Garabay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback. Another try after the first down sack. Jones, and that is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play.
But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now Jones. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. To throw is Jones. Able to hook up here with Ridley. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Jones. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Jones. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Bears will take over possession here up at the 44. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll begin the drive with Carey. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's got a man complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And the Bears are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this 4th quarter lead. And this win now going to look a little more lopsided on the scoreboard, CD. Now, some may have run out the clock in that scenario, but they wanted to put their foot on the gas, get one more touchdown, and they did just that.
Well, partner, I would say the traditionalists not overly excited about that score. They like to see the game played a little bit differently. But what you can't argue with is their execution of that play because it played out exactly as it was drawn up. It almost would have been a shame not to finish with such a well-run play.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On 2nd and 10, Jones, pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. Just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Bears, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.